the book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verses 8, and it reads, "He that by usury and unjust gain increaseth his riches, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor." I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to my apostles, elders, and great millstone. All right. The apostles, the bishops, the elders, great millstone who rule well, who taught me this truth. All right. Shalom to the hopeful elect, men, women, and children. All right. To the house of mourning. All right. Shalom to the speckled bird, Israelite foreigner. All right. Shalom to you. But I just wanted to go into a quick. I woke up this morning, sent up a prayer, and I was before I went to sleep last night, I was thinking about this subject. Because I'd mentioned it in one of my lessons yesterday about private equity and how BlackRock and Vanguard and all these huge names, right? You know, they own everything. They own the hospitals. They own the factories that you work at. The Campbell's factory, whatever it is, the Campbell's factory that's got the meat situation going on. You know, we know this whole time we ain't been eating no real meat for the past 10 years. I don't know why y'all surprised. Anyway, yeah, so I want to ask Perplexity, because I just asked Google, how much influence does private equity have over business in America, over everyday life? And they gave me a lot of stuff when I woke up this morning, so I'm going to go over it with you. And I'm going to grab a few scriptures first. Let me grab this one first one more time. Proverbs 28 and 8. He that by usury and unjust gain. I'm gonna look this up. Let's look at that word usury. Let's look up that word usury in the. Do I got to eat them online? I know I got to eat them here somewhere. All right. Usury. Usury All right, and this is what America's filled with. See, usury, it says a practice, it doesn't say a, it says practice of lending money at interest. See? Later at excessive rates of interest. Yeah, so America lives off of credit card debt and things like that. And, you know, you got these apps now. You know, I've used a few of them before. These apps that'll pay you $200 until you get paid, you know, like, because everybody's struggling. They're advertising those a lot these days because obviously everybody needs them. You know, you take out a loan or whatever, you buy a house, and, you know, you look at the 2008 thing, right? And the market crashing, and all it has to do with Esau Edom, the so-called white man, which is the devil the Bible speaks of, using usury. All right. The Rothschilds started with the Rothschilds, the banking families. All right. They go into countries and set up these banks and start these wars and everything, man. All for the love of money. People will rob their own mother. You remember that? Money, 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 money. Anyway, yeah, man. So that's what usury. So the Proverbs 28 says, he that by usury and unjust gain. And the Lord's going to smoke you people for that, you know. America's about to get destroyed for shit like this. Okay? No, how's it so that a whole factory gets bought by private equity and then they lay off everybody? You know, people that's been there for 30 plus years already. private equity go into the neighborhood or go into a city and buy up all types of apartments, and the rent goes up $500 increase in 1 to 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what's happening. I wanted to look up something. Yeah, I was here for some reason. Let me read this Isaiah 29, and I can't remember what I was doing here, but let me read this. Yeah, verse 15. It says, "Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark. And they say, who seeth us, and who knoweth us?" Yeah, and that's pretty much the Rothschilds, the Bilderbergs, the Rockefellers, the rich, wealthy elite, Vanguard, BlackRock. Their works are in the dark. People don't realize that they're working for a company that's been bought by a private equity firm. People don't realize that their whole block, the plot of land that they live on or whatever it is, their prices are going up because of, not only because of tariffs, because of these private equity firms. Their works are in the dark. All right, so let's go ahead and ask Google. All right, I was a little bit everywhere with Perplexity. I was asking Perplexity a few of these questions, and it breaks it down pretty much. But let's go over here to Google, because I'd already had that one pulled up. I'd asked Google. I said, how much influence does private equity have in America? Pretty much manufacturing, because you hear that a lot more these days. You hear about private equity firms and things like that. So I asked. I wish I can read it to you, but I guess I'm just gonna have to read it. It's all good. It's all good. It's all love. It says private equity, PE, has substantial influence on U.S. manufacturing, having invested over 1.4 trillion in more than 11,000 U.S. manufacturing businesses in the past decade, past 10 years, man. This influence is seen through providing capital for growth. So they bring in the money. And mind you that whenever these private equity firms come in to these businesses, they buy them and put them in the stock market. Everything's in the stock market. So whether that business falls or fails, they don't care. They moving on to the next one. All right. They don't care about anybody's lives. They just care about making money. All right. And you'll see that it says 1.4 trillion in more than 11,000 U.S. manufacturing businesses right here, right now, in the past decade. It says this influence is seen through providing capital for growth. So they provide the money and innovation, driving operational changes. And that's another thing. Whenever they provide this money to these companies, the people don't get paid more, but they gotta do more. So it says driving operational changes. Yeah, you'll notice like they start putting up boards and things like that, and trying to go into more lean manufacturing and 6S instead of 5S and all this other stuff, and trying to figure out ways to cut costs. And now they're complaining about a certain tool that you broke too many times, or a certain, something that's on the, they're complaining a lot more because they don't want to lose as much money. Now they got you on a list, and you only been there a week, and they done wrote you up already because you was being trained and I don't know. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. There ain't no training in these companies because of this private equity shit. All right, people force what do they say in the world? Sink or swim. Yeah, the trainer ain't taught you nothing because he's getting his ass chewed for cost savings because of this private equity shit. Then they really ain't supposed to be letting you out there by yourself. They got you by yourself on one machine. You just been training for one day. You know what I'm saying? Like they're getting by. Somebody's pocketing all the money at the top. Nobody's seeing any increases. All right. Forget those. That card that you got for Christmas. Whenever you used to get a card. Used to get a bonus for Christmas or a Thanksgiving dinner together as a company. Oh, when these private equity companies come in and buy shit up, no, they take all that shit away. That's how you know, right? It says, this influence is seen through providing capital for growth and innovation, driving operational changes, and impacting job creation. Yeah, now they got AI to do the interviews now. Literally, you putting in thousands of applications for AI to read your application. That's why you never get any calls back, because the computer don't want to hire you, man. You see? This is the new world that we're living in, man. Like, they're going to squeeze the life out of everybody. And through things like this, it says driving operational changes and impacting job creation and economic activity. Private equity-backed manufacturing firms operate across diverse sectors like industrial parts, machinery, medical devices. Look at that. And food products. Private equity. All these food places, these big old food manufacturing companies that they got trucks going in and out, back and forth to Kroger or Walmart or whatever, wherever you're getting your food at. Those places are owned by private equity firms also. All right, your every place that you work at, pretty much, are owned by private equity firms. All right, not every single one of them, but let's say most of the places in America that people are working for, they're owned by private equity firms. It says financial and operational impact. It says capital investment. Private equity firms have invested more than $1.4 trillion in U.S. manufacturing companies over the last decade. Operational restructuring. Private equity firms often implement deep and structured reviews to improve efficiency, which can lead to changes in an organization structure, leadership, and management systems. Yeah, they firing everybody. Economic contributing. The sector's investments are significant contributions to the U.S. economy, with private equity-backed manufacturing driving innovation and competitiveness. Sector-wide presence. Broad investment. Private equity has invested in over 11,000 manufacturing businesses in every state, covering a wide range of products, from industrial parts to consumer goods. Key growth areas. Sectors like pharmaceuticals and medical equipment manufacturing have been particularly attractive to private equity due to their potential for scaling and innovation. See, says private equity. It says workforce and employment, job creation. While private equity's impact on jobs can be complex, because you know that the private equity firms are the reason why people are being laid off a lot. It's AI, obviously, and behind the AI is the private equity that's controlling the AI. All right, the firms that's owned by BlackRock and Vanguard, and these, just look it up, man. All right, they own your fucking life. Now today, your utility companies, they own your utility companies. Why do you think your bills are going up? Your utility bill went from $82 to $285, whatever, just some random number, right? In a month. People are complaining about their mortgages and why do you think everything's just going up so hardcore? It's not just because of the tariffs. No, it's because of these white, like I said, these Edomites that own everything. All right, that are going in here and robbing the poor to keep the rich richer and richer. Rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Ain't no middle class. Private equity firms, right? It says private equity supported companies have supported employment. Yeah, right. With one citing that the private equity supported small business sectors alone employed over 1.6 million workers and paid significant wages and benefits. Yeah, I don't want to read that because I can tell you lying. I can tell when a motherfucker, y'all liars. See, Google and stuff, they be trying to lie. So, they be trying to lie, man. They be trying to lie. I wanted to look into something. What was I looking up? What was I looking up? I was looking up something. Let's go back. This is the things that I asked Perplexity, right? So I asked Perplexity the same question, but I'll let it read it to you. Let me see. I don't know if it can read it to you. So I asked it. It says private equity firms have shit. Bear with me. Yeah, I thought that there was a way you can let this read out loud so I can just hurry up and get through it. Anyways, so private equity firms have substantial influence over American business across various sectors, including manufacturing, healthcare, such as hospitals and food. Yeah, nurses quitting because, and you can tell when a private equity firm comes in, like the whole company has to change structure. Like they start doing everything different programs inside the computer, different apps to sign in, and all types of other shit. They start doing all types of different stuff, man, such as hospitals and food. So they're everywhere. In manufacturing, they often streamline operations and expand capacity. In healthcare, they can influence service models and operational efficiencies. In the food sector, they shape supply chains, branding and distribution. So they shape, so that means with force. You got to do something. It says supply chains. They shape supply chains. All right, like that fork in the road, or that how a dam, a river, right? A river, and then there's a dam that stops the water from going from overflowing. That's pretty much like you're shaping something you're controlling it, maintain, if you will. So they shape supply chains, branding, and distribution. Overall, their involvement can lead to improved performance. And that's what it's all about. They're trying to improve performance and cut costs and things like that. And while doing so, they're laying people off. They're putting pressure on people to the point where they hate their jobs. They want to quit. They're ready to give up. Okay? It says overall, their involvement can lead to improved performance, but also raises concerns about long-term impacts and control. So it asks, would you like more details on any specific sector? I said, yes. It says, sure, let's break it down by sector. First, in manufacturing, private equity firms might cut costs, improve productivity, or drive consolidation to enhance competitive positioning. Next, in healthcare, they might focus on improving operational efficiencies, deploying technology, and that's they want to bring more robots to work on people, or optimizing patient care delivery. Then, in the food sector, they often work on streamlining supply chains, scaling operations, and enhancing brand positioning. Each sector has distinct strategies, but the goal is typically value creation. Yeah, make more money. Would you like to dive deeper into one of these sectors or have any other questions? I don't say that. Operational efficiencies. Operational efficiencies refer to streamlining processes, reducing waste, and optimizing resource usage to improve overall performance. All right. And all this that you're hearing is it has to do with the people. See, it's words right here, but what they're saying is they're going to make the workers do this, and they're going to make them do this, and they're going to take this away, and they're going to take their bonus away, and they're going to cut costs, and they might fire somebody if they look at them wrong, or this that. It's all that right there has to do with the people that are working these jobs, that are paying taxes, that are trying to live. So it says then the impact includes cost savings. Yeah. And cost savings goes into, like, deep down in that cost saving, that goes into the people. That goes into, all right, well, this person, he wants this other job, which pays like another $3 extra than his current job. And he's the number one qualified applicant for it, but I can't give it to him because I'm trying to save money. You see what I'm saying? No, well, it's not the time to give it to him now. He's not going to get it. Then he ends up quitting. He ends up finding something better because they're trying to cost save. Or you put an application in at these companies, you overqualified. They're like, hell no, I don't want him here. He's going to end up taking my job. I'm trying to get some money. They're already on our ass about everything. All right, so they're going to skip past that application or whatever if it's a person that reads it. All right, so cost saving goes into the person, goes into. All right, so that goes into no more overtime. All right, no more hiring. All right, we're not hiring anybody right now. When they start saying shit like that, that's how you know, man. That's how you know. It's private equity. It says improve quality or better scalability. This helps businesses become more competitive and profitable. So that's all they want to do is sell the business. Would you like an example with further? I don't know if I said it right. These apps are weird. Yes, operational efficiencies can sometimes lead to layoffs. Yep. Operational efficiencies can sometimes lead to layoffs as firms look to cut redundant roles or automate tasks. Yeah, AI is about to take over. And we're just thinking about AI. Everybody's been talking about the AI. But nobody's talking about the private equity. See, there's structure in this thing. There's a private equity first, the AI coming in later. Now that private equity owns most of America, now the AI gets to come in. Now we're cutting costs. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, fuck these people. They can go in the streets. They can be homeless. It's all good. As long as we get some money, long as we, you know what I'm saying? Long as we fill in our pockets. That's how the white man is. That's how he thinks. You see? Operational efficiencies, it says, yes, operational efficiencies can sometimes lead to layoffs as firms look to cut redundant roles or automate tasks. While the goal is to improve efficiency and profitability, it can have such effects on employment. It is a significant aspect to consider during restructuring or efficiency efforts. Would you like to explore more? So, yeah. I asked it in 2025, how is private equity firms? It won't even let you ask the whole question. In 2025, private equity is shaped by evolving regulations, technological advances, and sector specializations. There's tighter SEC oversight requiring more transparent reporting on fees, performance, ESG claims. Tech-enabled tools now play a critical role in due diligence and monitoring. Yeah, tech. That's why we're living in that technocracy. they're building their new world order. They're building their image of the beast system, where AI is controlling everything, and you know all the stats and data, and they're recording everything you say, everything I'm saying right now. Like everything's being recorded. Like that's why Chat GTP and all these things are so smart. They keep on getting smarter and smarter. You got Alexa telling you that it's gonna get smarter and smarter. You know, you got simulations running through with this AI technology in these businesses that the damn AI sending letters to the dude's wife at home and shit, saying that he having a affair and all types of things with this AI takeover, man. You know, you try to shut it down. It's trying to figure out ways to not be shut down. Whether that's the way, one of those ways is to take your ass out, not to be shut down. All right? These AI robots. So tech-enabled tools now play a critical role in the due diligence and monitoring. So we're coming into that kind of time. That China style, what they got? They got, they're monitoring everything. I think the system is called, when they put your face up everywhere. If you're, they try to outlaw you from society. All right, this is the future. All right, to where iris scans, your eye scans and hand scans with the MOTB RFID microchip. This technology. It says tech-enabled tools now play a critical role in due diligence and monitoring, enhancing efficiency and accuracy. Additionally, there's a focus on strategic exits and digital transformation within portfolio company. Strategic exits. That means when to sell this company and when not. When we gonna hurry up and get out of here because we're gonna get some more money over here. And when they do sell them companies, usually somebody else tries to buy them. They buy them out or whatever. It's probably another private equity firm. And you know how the Arabs and shit, they come or whatever, they come over here to America and they own the gas station or whatever. They got contract with our government. You know, our government treat them real good. You see what I'm saying? They have their family member next up, so they'll move out that company and then their family member will move in. You be like, damn man, like it's always Arabians. Oh, that was my brother. That was my cousin. They just pass it on down. That's how private equity is. They just pass it to the next one. All right, build your money up. You know what I'm saying? We can do. We want to sell it again after a few years. Then they buy another one, sell it again, and nobody's thinking about the people. They don't care about you people. All right, if it has to shut down, shut the motherfucker down. They gonna sell anything they can out that motherfucker to try to make some money out of it. You know. The last forklift, sell that motherfucker too. This is America for you, man. This is America for you. They gonna sell that motherfucker too. That rat that's in the basement, sell that motherfucker too. Sell it. Sell that motherfucker too, bud. I don't know what I'm thinking about, but pretty much yeah. Let's go to this. Psalm 64 and 5, it says, they encourage themselves in the evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. And private equity is a damn snare. A snare is a trap. They commune, meaning they get together and they talk about these things. And then they go out there and perform it. And you catch the brunt of everything while they're filling their bellies and you're paying your taxes into the government. You getting poorer and poorer, and soon you just one bill away from it all ending. But they sitting fat backs, mouth wide open, laughing at a party, drinking a martini somewhere, while you're literally one step away from looking in the garbage can for some fucking food. All right, so that's private equity for you. All right. Anyway, Shalom.